Red meat should be one of the very first foods your baby eats when they're weaning off breast milk. Now, if that sounds a bit triggering to you or perhaps a bit inflammatory, like that don't sound plant-based, then you need to watch this video to the end because I'm going to explain to you why that's my opinion, why that's my educated opinion, and why it should also be your opinion and also be reflected in your actions when you're feeding your baby their first foods. I'm Dr. Ken Berry, a family physician. Let's talk about red meat as your baby's first food. Now, first, let's talk about how you know your baby's ready for food, solid foods. If your baby is between 3 and 6 months of age, has at least one tooth breaking through the gum line, and can do the following: sits up alone or with support, is able to control their head and neck, opens their mouth when food is offered, swallows food rather than pushes it back out onto their chin, brings objects with their hands to their mouth, tries to grasp small objects such as toys or food, and also transfers food from the front of the mouth to the back of the tongue in order to swallow it, then your baby is ready for solid food. Now, many young parents have forgotten what kind of mammalian species we are. We are Homo sapiens sapien, and for 99.99% of our time on planet Earth, our babies, when they go from breast milk to being weaned onto solid food, they eat exactly what their parents are eating, without exception. That's how it's always been. But over the last 100 years or so, big corporations have tricked us into thinking that there's something magical about infants, that they can't eat the food that we eat. They can't eat from our plate or eat off the table the same meal that the parents are eating. And so we've got all these products that are basically pureed carbohydrates that are full of sugar and fructose, and in some cases even arsenic. And that's what we think. That's what we've been trained by the thousands of advertisements we've seen, that should be baby's first foods. If you go back far enough in time, every baby's first solid food was red meat, without exception. Your baby's tiny brain and tiny body is developing at quantum speed, and so they need quick access, highly bioabsorbable access to all of the vitamins and minerals and fatty acids and amino acids that a baby's body and brain need to develop. They can't be searching through these commercialized infant foods trying to find the nutrition, or their brain or their body's gonna get left behind. The number one thing your baby needs to develop as rapidly and perfectly as possible is a complete protein source. Now, you're a young, busy parent. You don't have time to be doing all of the vegan mathematics and juggling, trying to combine rice and beans or beans and rice to try to get a complete protein for your baby. Red meat contains every essential amino acid in the right ratios to give your baby the complete protein that they need for development. Another thing that your baby needs for quick development of the brain and the body is iron. It has to be bioabsorbable, bioavailable. The most bioabsorbable iron there is on the planet is heme iron, and that's found in red meat only. That's right. And so there are other meats that you can give your baby as a first food, which are fine, but none of them are going to have the heme iron that your baby's body and brain need for the best development possible. I'm sorry, but you won't find any heme iron in a plant-based diet. Another essential nutrient that your little one's brain and body need for optimal development is choline, and you're going to find plenty of choline in red meat. A mineral that little brains and bodies absolutely need for optimal development is zinc. Guess what's abundant in zinc? And not only abundant in red meat, but also very bioavailable. It's not locked up in the lectins, the phytates, and the oxalates that are in plant-based foods that are a reasonable source of zinc. So if you want to get your baby the quickest absorbable, most usable form of zinc, it's in red meat. Your sweet, adorable little Cupid doll absolutely must have a good source of bioabsorbable B12, or their brain and body will not develop optimally. Guess what? There's no vitamin B12 to be found in a plant-based diet. You're going to have to give your tiny baby a supplement. Where did that come from? Who made it? What factory did it come from? Just get the bioabsorbable vitamin B12 that's in red meat, and your baby will thank you. One final vitamin that your baby's going to find easily in red meat that's very difficult to find in plant-based foods is vitamin B6. It is vital for brain and body development. Without it, your little one will suffer. Many people are instructed by their pediatricians that cereals are a good first food for your baby. All of these cereals have to be fortified by law because they're completely devoid of actual real nutrition. So they'll fortify them with a variety of vitamins and minerals, but these vitamins and minerals once again come from a chemical factory. Why not just get the vitamins and minerals as they occur naturally in red meat? Now, all of the cereals are high in carbohydrates. They're going to spike your baby's glucose and their insulin level. But one cereal in particular I want to talk about specifically. Rice cereal in particular is so high in arsenic that even the Centers for Disease Control say that if your child is eating infant cereals, it's important to offer them a variety of fortified infant cereals such as oat, barley, and multigrain instead of only rice cereal. How many young parents don't know this? Maybe you should reach out to them and share this video. Only providing infant rice cereal is not recommended by the Food and Drug Administration because there is a risk for children to be exposed to too much arsenic. Guess what doesn't have any arsenic in it? Red meat. Now you'll see all these advertisements for baby's first food. Some of them are advertised by very famous YouTube celebrities. They all include such trigger words as superfood or organic or non-GMO. But what they don't tell you is that even if it's an organic, non-GMO, it's still high carbohydrate, nutrient void junk food that's been made in a factory and bottled or put in these cute little pouches that are shelf stable for up to 24 months. Guess what? Real food won't sit on the shelf for 24 months. It spoils. That's how you know it's real food. One of my biggest pet peeves for baby's first food is puffs. These little things, and well-meaning parents don't know better. They give their babies these nutrient void little crunchy nuggets, and these poor parents are literally training their poor baby how to eat Lucky Charms cereal and Cheetos. These are literally the beginning foods to train you how to eat finger junk food. Now, whether you agree with me or not, I want your comments in the comment section below. If you disagree with me, tell me why. If you agree with me, tell me why. If you know young parents, please share this video with them because they may just not know this information. But I promise you, they're trying to do the best they know how to do. Let's teach them and help them do better.